Hey, this is Pillow Talk Mamas with Anamari and Troy. I'm Anamari.
I'm Troy.
If you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you thoroughly enjoyed this episode. If you are already family, welcome back. Now let's get started with our segments and get into this chat. Our first segment is Stress of the Week. And do you have one to start us off?
I ain't never stressed. Only blessed.
I hear that, but also, mine isn't that bad. I'm potty training my youngest, which is made to be very stressful by the fact that my oldest is constantly running around like crazy, like trying to keep, because he wants to follow everything. He wants to get up and play. So trying to keep him seated so that we can thoroughly potty train him is very difficult.
Not bad.
And we are going to segue right into our topic because I initially was going to say my oldest runs around like a wild banshee, which is a common term or phrase that people use.
Yeah.
So in my curiosity and desire to hold all things knowledge that are unnecessary, I looked up what actually a banshee was. Like I had an idea, but I was like, what actually is this? Right. Where does it stem from? So, banshee is a noun for a female spirit in Gaelic or Irish or Scottish folklore, whose appearance or wailing warns a family that one of them will die soon.
Oh, gosh.
So, I was like, maybe I shouldn't word that way.
Maybe not.
And maybe stop using that phrase unless it, actually applies to the situation now that I know where it came from.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of knowledge for you guys, for anybody who didn't know. I didn't fully know. And then we can make our way into our myths and legends, which is today's topic.
You can go first.
All right. So I'm going to start us off pretty light with a legend from Honduras, particularly Yoro, Honduras.
Okay.
The legend is called La Lluvia de Peces de Yoro, which translates to Yoro's fish rain.
Okay.
It is also known as Aguacero de Pescado, which means downpour of fish. It's a phenomenon that has been occurring for more than a century. It happens up to 4 times yearly. People have speculated that strong winds and waterspouts are the cause, but it was found to be extremely unlikely due to the location and the consistent timing of it. The legend, however, says that Spanish priest Father Jose Manuel de Jesus Subirana, very long name, arrived in Honduras in 1855 and saw how poor the people were and prayed 3 days and nights asking God for a miracle. After this, God sent a dark cloud and many fish fell from the sky, feeding all of the people. So that ends my first one.
No, that was interesting. Okay. I get it. I get it. Pescado. I get it. Pescado. All right. So I have a myth. The you can't dye your hair when pregnant myth.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
I think I have. I feel like they say you can't or you shouldn't bleach, but that dye is okay. I might be wrong though.
See, I've heard dye because it has the ammonia and other chemicals in it. So, well, the truth is, the NHS studies show that the chemicals are so low and that's found within the hair dye that it actually wouldn't do any harm to you or the baby. Although there could be ammonia or peroxide in the permanent dyes, most hair dyes actually mix those now, and you actually get more natural remedies, I guess, for hair dyeing processing now. So that's cool.
Okay.
However, they don't recommend it for this sense of your hormones change your body chemistry and whatnot, your hormones and all that, which results in the hair dye not taking it as well. So if you're dyeing your hair, you're not going to get the color you want.
So you and your baby going to be okay, but you might look jacked up.
You're going to look jacked up. So don't attempt to dye your hair before maternity shoot.
Okay.
And then try to stay away from it in the first and second trimester. Third trimester, you're perfectly fine. Like, you have no worries whatsoever.
Okay.
So just go for it.
Sounds interesting.
That was not interesting.
It's interesting to me. I feel like the whole, there's a lot of stuff people tell pregnant women not to do that people have disproven. Like, I'm not entirely sure about this, but reaching for high things in the kitchen, like, it paranoid me, and I asked my husband to get anything that was higher than like head level, eye level. And then going to nail salons and getting your nails done, they were like, usually if it's like ventilated or like there's airflow coming in, that it's fine. And then, you know, obviously don't stick your nose in the bottle of acetone and polish and things like that, but you can go and enjoy those things.
Okay.
So it's interesting to me.
I mean, I ain't getting pregnant again. That's why I said it's not that interesting to me, because it's like it does not pertain to this lady.
Well, we'll leave that where it is and move forward. So my next one is I actually am not sure. Grandma, forgive me if it's Ciudad or Ciudad Blanca, the White City.
Okay, so we see that.
Ciudad. Okay, I thought so. Was a legend of a lost city within the extremely dense forest of La Mosquitia. I think I said that right. Using aerial technology, archaeologists have actually surveyed and mapped extensive areas belonging to vanished culture that thrived 1,000 years ago, recovering untouched sculptures, possible offerings at the base of the pyramid there, 52 artifacts peeking through the earth, with many more below, and possible burial remains. There are ceremonial seats, carved vessels with snakes, zoomorphic figures, and vultures.
Okay.
The most striking was said to be a head emerging from the ground of what might be a were-jaguar. They typed it like werewolf jaguar, possibly depicting a shaman in a transformed, I wrote this myself, a transformed state. I'm not sure why. I can't read my own handwriting. The artifacts may date back to AD 1000 through 1400.
Okay.
1000, however they called it back then. The objects were documented but left unexcavated. To protect the site from looters, the location isn't being revealed. So, going backwards in time, Theodore Morde, M-O-R-D-E, claimed to find decades ago this lost city and refused to divulge location out of fear. He then unalived himself to protect the secret of this city.
That's aggressive.
Which was found anyway. So, sorry, Theodore. It was found years later, but it is being protected. Yeah, that is the end of my second one.
That's interesting.
The White City.
Poor guy.
Yeah. I did read that there were some pieces that were put into a museum, but because they said that majority of those things were unexcavated in order to protect the history, I'm not sure exactly what they took and put on display, but it was proven to not just be a legend, but actually be a reality.
Oh, that's neat.
Yep.
I have a myth that you're not gonna like.
How dare.
The myth is sugar makes you hyper.
I don't like it for a different reason than I thought I would.
In the 1970s, a single study was done where doctors removed sugar from a child's diet and saw improvement in the child's behavior. Now, keep in mind, this is done in the 70s. One experiment, one child. Yeah. So It's not much of an experiment. It's like, that's like a parent saying you can't have sugar. And like, oh, well, we just did an experiment.
Right. I'm a scientist.
Yeah. However, many studies since have shown that while cutting sugar off from your diet can definitely improve aspects of your health, such as depression, and of course, adding or consuming added sugar to your diet can rapidly, my goodness, change your blood sugar levels and cause spikes and crashes that have their own side effects. But there is no known study that shows that sugar itself can cause hyperactivity.
Interesante.
So, just FYI.
We still keeping sugar at a minimum up in here.
Like, dang, I was gonna try to win one for the boys. Didn't work.
I think I told you too when we went to pick up dinner. I was like, "Do you guys have toys?" And they were like, "No, but we have cinnamon twists." And I was like, "Ixnay on the cinnamon twist, say whatever." Like, no, don't give it to him.
No, thank you.
So sorry, boo boo, but Mama stays home full time alone. So no.
Sorry, boys.
But you know, someone else takes him. That's on you, as long as it wears off before he comes home.
Ooh. Again, it doesn't cause hyperactivity, so you won't even know.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I really care about, like I said, if he's with somebody else, it doesn't matter to me because they're going to have to handle that if it causes any hyperactivity. But also his teeth.
Yeah, no, of course. Of course, the acidity of the sugar, absolutely.
Brush them in the day, brush them in the night. So, my third is Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia. It took the lives of many people working to construct it of many people working to construct it due to limited tech in those times. However, 3 men were rumored to have slipped into the bottom of the brick pylons as they were being built. For several reasons, not good ones. I think there was mention of undocumented workers and things like that. The bodies were never recovered.
Oh.
And remain sealed within the bridge. This was never proven, but it was also never debunked.
I would say I don't think there's any way to really debunk it without deconstructing. So it's like let the legend stand.
Right. Unfortunately. Yeah. And I don't think they mention the name, like possible names of those workers or like races or ethnicities or anything like that. It's just 3 men gone from the world.
Oh, that's sad. He just ruined the killed mood. It's like, oh God.
I'm so sorry. Perk up, please.
Myth: milk builds strong bones. The truth is, a Harvard study followed 72,000 women for 2 decades and found no evidence that drinking milk can prevent bone fractures or osteoporosis. In addition, we can never actually consume enough milk to receive the benefits, from the vitamin D that it has, which I've been told by my doctor and by the girl's doctor, like, you're never going to be able to drink enough milk to get the benefits. And I'm like, so forcing my child to down all this milk is like, no, it's no. If you enjoy it, sure, but like you're not going to get any benefits really from it. Like the calcium, not enough.
I was going to ask about the calcium as well.
Not enough. It's also a lesser known fact that just much like the rest of the food industry, where a lot of it is subsidized by government, it was actually heavily advertised. Like, I don't know if you remember, like Got Milk was a huge thing in school. So that was backed by the government because at the time, California milk supply with the profits of it were declining. So in an effort to make sure that the farming industry was booming,
good old government,
they were like, hey, you need milk. And it kind of got pushed on the masses that way. So the truth be told is milk can make your bones stronger, but not in the way that you think. Because you remember, like, if you look at commercials, it'll be like, oh, get a glass of milk and a glass of orange juice and a bowl of milk or a bowl of cereal too. And this is like, that's a lot of milk happening.
First of all, one meal. I don't know who's drinking milk and orange juice at the same time.
But I see it all the time in commercials. So I thought that was a thing that people do, but I guess.
Even on one of my son's shows, they're like, oh, what does Pocoyo want for breakfast? Oh, he wants, I think it was exactly that, cereal, milk, and orange juice.
It was like such an odd combo. But yeah, they were really trying to hype up the milk industry and really force that on people, especially in the minority groups. I have learned as well.
Yeah. So, I'm very, very big on the government is out for profit. Depending on, of course, I mean, maybe all, but depending on which government we're talking about. Like, people always say, as far as like pharmaceutical companies and things like that, that the government or whoever, it's a conspiracy, releases certain things, and then pharmaceutical companies come in like, oh, don't worry, I got you, because they're making a profit. But they're looking to treat your symptoms and not cure your ailments.
Exactly.
And that falls in the same category.
Right. Because I'm on cholesterol medication at 31 years old. I'm like, this can't be right. Like, it was elevated probably like once or twice during the testing. They're like, you have high cholesterol and you need to take medicine. I'm like, there's ways to naturally bring it down and to keep it down. Like, why are you putting me on meds that can ultimately damage my liver over time? Like, you're trying to kill me.
And I'm wondering if, one, obviously removing some from your diet, and then two, there are certain vitamins that help your body absorb other things. So I'm wondering if there's something that you have in your diet in excess that you could limit.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm figuring it out for sure because I don't want to be on the medication. And like, you gotta be on it for life. I'm like, for life? Like, what do you mean? Like, well, if you don't take it, you can have a heart attack. And I'm like, I don't know if my chances are liver failure or heart attack. Which one do I want the most? Like, there's no winning when it comes to like.
We talked about that before. Choosing between side effects. Which one is worse?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Unfortunate. I feel my last one was worse, but that's kind of a downer too.
My bad.
This one I don't remember being that bad. So the Puebla tunnels are a system of tunnels under the Mexico city of Puebla. Long considered to be an urban legend, they were rediscovered in 2015. So not that long ago. They're believed to be up to 500 years old, dating back to 1531, and extend for more than 10 kilometers, which is about 6.21 miles. Antiques have been unearthed. It operates as a museum, apparently, and is tall enough to ride through horseback. Thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, you got some clearance for sure.
Right. And among the things that they found down there were toys, marbles, antique kitchen goods, and a lot of guns and bullets.
Oh.
Which is obviously an odd combination of things.
Yeah.
Like, were people living down there? Were they fighting down there? I don't know.
Definitely a good transportation route.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Well, if it was used for transportation, then maybe, and high enough to clear on horseback, maybe they just lost things along the way and they weren't like inhabiting the tunnels.
I'm gonna say you're so innocent because you did not get where I was going with that.
No. Explain yourself.
I will not.
I'm gonna have to watch this episode back. I'm gonna watch it back and be like, meow.
This episode is not for that conversation. So we're not gonna like do any no
BTS, we'll talk about it.
Woo. Okay. We're all good with Puebla.
Yes. Like I said, I'm gonna watch this back and BTS will chat about it.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
My myth is we only use 10% of our brain.
I've heard of that.
The truth is a study was done by Scientific American that shows that we actually use all of our brain, which obviously makes sense. You need all components of your brain to operate. Now, if you have something medically going on, then you may not to the fullest degree, but your brain is still firing off on all ends. It may not be simultaneously firing off at the same time. Like, you don't need your balance at the same time that you need your receptors for sleep because you're asleep. So, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
So, question.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Are they saying that the myth is we only use 10%, period, versus the reality is we use 10% at a time?
No.
Or are they saying all the time? Like,
they're saying that we only use 10% of our brain at any given time, like just
at any given time.
Yeah.
So it is 10%, but it's not like period. Only 10% of your brain is functioning.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. You're asking me questions that I was not prepared for, ma'am. I'm like, let me read.
I like random knowledge.
Jeez.
Lo siento. Continue.
You know what that's it?
Oh,
that's that.
All right. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You're making me feel bad?
No, I don't feel bad. I'm just like, you're asking questions. Like, I don't know. Let me finish reading because I have it here and it's been a minute. Hold on.
I know. We prepared for this so long ago. It feels so long ago anyway.
Yeah.
So, My last one is Pele's Revenge, a Hawaiian legend retold by S.E. Schlosser.
Alrighty.
I hope I'm saying that correctly. So, I'm going to do my best to pronounce these Hawaiian names. Forgiveness asked if any of them are wrong.
I'm ready for this to be butchered.
No, it's not that bad. The names are pretty short. So, Ohia and Lehua loved each other.
I know that ain't right.
Yes. You can see for yourself.
Oh, no, you definitely didn't say that right.
How would you pronounce that?
They don't even pronounce H's like that it's Hawaii. It's not even Hawaii.
No, they say aloha and they pronounce the H.
Girl, listen. BTS, because I'm going to have to disprove that real fast.
All right. Well, I would doubt that we have any Hawaiians that watch, but if you guys catch wind of this episode or already are in there, hey, I'm down for it. Correct me. I'll say it right. So them two loved each other from the moment they first saw each other at a village dance. Ohia was a tall, strong man with a handsome face and lithe form. He was something of a trickster and was first in all the sports played by the young men. Lehua was gentle and sweet and as fragile as a flower. Her beauty was the talk of the island, and her father was quite protective of his only child. When Lehua was, I'm tired, y'all. I barely slept last night. Forgive me. When Lehua saw the handsome, bold Ohia speaking with her father beside the bonfire, she blushed crimson, unable to take her eyes from the young man. At the same moment, Ohia glanced up from his conversation and his mouth dropped to the floor. Open at the sight of the beautiful maiden. He was not even aware that he had stopped speaking right in the middle of his sentence. So overwhelmed was he by the sight of the fair maiden across the fire from him.
Love at first sight. Beautiful.
Lehua's father nudged the young man, recalling him to his duties as a guest. Ohia stuttered and stammered apologies, trying to continue his conversation while keeping one eye on the fair Lehua. He was like, I got my eye on you, girl.
You mad.
Her father was amused by the young man's obvious infatuation with his daughter. He quite liked this bold trickster. And so he offered to introduce Ohia to his daughter. The young man almost fell over in his haste as they walked across the clearing to where Lehua stood with her friends. From that moment, there was no other woman for him but her. He had eyes only for her and courted her with a passion and zeal that swiftly won her heart. Her father gave his only daughter gladly into the keeping of the strong young man, and the young couple lived quite happily for several months in a new home he built for his bride. I just want to pause real quick and say, this dad had a lot of trust.
A lot.
I don't know if he knew this man from the village. He's just like, oh, you like my daughter?
Here usually she goes. It's like you like my daughter,
right?
Like, what's good?
So, sorry. Then one day, the goddess Pele was walking in the forest near the home of the handsome Ohia and spied the young man at work. Pele was smitten by him and went at once to engage him in conversation. He spoke politely to the beautiful woman, but did not respond to her advances, which infuriated her. She was determined to have this young man for herself, but before she could renew her efforts, Lehua came to the place her young husband was working to bring him his midday meal. She was like, here you go, boo. Got a little food for you. When he saw his lovely wife, his face lit up with love. He dropped everything at once and went to her side, leaving a fuming Pele to stare in jealous rage at the young couple. Dropping her human disguise, the goddess transformed into a raging column of fire and struck him down. Transforming him into a twisted, ugly tree in revenge for spurning her advances. So Lehua fell to her knees beside the twisted tree that had once been her husband, tears streaming down her lovely face. She begged Pele to turn him back into a man or else turn her into a tree. She's like, if I can't have him, take me too. As she could not bear to be separated from her beloved, but Pele ignored the girl, taking herself up to the cool heights. her anger satisfied. But the gods saw what Pele had done to the innocent lovers and were angry. As Lehua lay weeping in despair, the gods reached down and transformed the girl into a beautiful red flower, which they placed upon the twisted ohia tree, so that she and her beloved husband would never more be apart. From that day to this, the ohia tree has blossomed with the beautiful red Lehua flowers. While the flowers remain on the tree, the weather remains sunny and fair. But when a flower is plucked from the tree, then heavy rain falls upon the land like tears, for Lehua still cannot bear to be separated from her beloved husband.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Sad.
I'm like, you couldn't undo the man from the tree, though. You just gotta turn her into
a goddess, right?
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
But then again,
or you're talking about the gods later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a legend.
Mean, it's beautiful, but it's like y'all could have went about this a little differently.
Here's your man back.
You can be with him all you want to.
They were like, no, flower.
Okay. I have another myth that you
are not gonna like.
But it might make you feel better.
If I don't like it?
No, the truth will make you feel better.
The truth shall set you
free. Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
So the myth is that you swallow 8 spiders.
Oh my God. Sleeping. Why?
Delicioso.
And I've heard this before. I've heard that they crawl in your ear and see people on TikTok sleeping with stockings over their head. Yeah. How dare.
They'd be all up in your personal space. Well, spiders will not intentionally come in contact with humans. Because of the size difference and the vibrations that the humans give off, especially while in a sleeping state, it would frighten them away before they go near your mouth. Now, it's not to say it's not plausible.
No.
But the odds are very, very low. And there's no actual factual evidence to support this myth.
Good.
But I mean, you say ear, this is mouth. So.
No. Vibrations everywhere. We breathe, we snore. So, no. And two, I'm not sure how good their hearing and their senses are because I'm not into spiders. But I'm wondering if, speaking of human vibration, a heartbeat is something that they can sense or hear.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't know.
Hopefully it keeps it at bay for you.
I hope so.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna say anything.
I mean, they already say the internet ruins everything. They already say, like, if you took a microscope to your skin, that you would be disgusted about the living organisms that are on your skin. I don't know if they consider them bugs or not, but they're like, you have stuff, you know, all over your skin, your scalp, hair, whatever. Like, there's literally there's no washing in the world, no OCD in the world that will rid you of it.
I've heard about that.
I choose to forget about it.
I've accepted it into my reality, and I'm just never alone.
No.
Oh my God.
I choose to pretend it's not true and that I've never heard it.
Okay. If that's how you want to live, whatever helps you sleep at night.
It surely does.
Maybe the spiders will help you sleep as well.
Ma'am.
You know, block up the ears for you and just keep you at ease. You don't hear no outside noise.
Itsy Bitsy is not allowed in my room. Ever. You saw the way I reacted to the spider at my front door. My husband was not home. He's a certified bug killer of this household. Holds it down. And he was not here that day. And while I'm acting like a little wussy, you took care of it. I don't even remember I don't think you killed it. I think you shoot it outside.
Yeah, because it wasn't a spider. It was a daddy long leg. They're not spiders.
Arachnids, bugs, insects, spiders. Okay. I don't care what they are.
You got me beat. Okay.
They're welcome to live outside of my home. As long as you're outside.
He was outside.
He was in the doorway.
He was
not making your way in.
I just scooted him off and he was fine.
Nope. I'd rather those little lizards come inside.
Ew.
They're harmless.
They will bite you.
Certain spiders are harmless as well, but
and then they get panicked and their tails fall off and they keep moving.
I've seen that happen, and it's
disgusting. You're okay with that? Over spiders?
As long as I don't necessarily have to see. As far as catching them, or I would just prefer neither, or for my husband to be.
Wouldn't it be a lot easier to kill a little spider over a whole lizard?
What do you consider little?
anything that's not as big as a lizard. You want to kill a lizard?
No, I wouldn't kill them. My husband captures them. Well, I say them like a million have been in here. But if they make their way into the house, he captures them in a little box, slides the paper underneath, and releases them outside, and they're fine. I'm cool with them. Like, they don't, I'm not cool with them like, come on in. But
yeah, come on in.
But they freak me out less than bugs. It's not a fear, it's a disgust. Like, if a bug touches me, I itch until I take a shower. It's just a reaction in my brain that I can't turn off.
Some spiders in the house because they eat these like centipede like bugs that like to come.
That's true.
So I'm like, you can help me with that.
A lot of people say they get rid of, mosquitoes. That can be an issue.
So I'm like, do your thing. Get those flies. They get on my nerves.
But get them outside. Get them right outside the front door.
See, they be
underneath the bush.
But they be in the corner minding their business. That would be bothering you.
If I ever see you, you're not minding your business.
Oh my God! You're
not staying in your lane. There's a lane.
You shouldn't have moved that couch. You wouldn't have thought.
We don't move.
If you wouldn't have moved that one thing,
we did move the couch downstairs to vacuum underneath it, sweep and mop and everything because. I mean, it's a big couch.
Have you seen Bugs Life? They have their own world. They need their own world. Oh my God. I'm not going to argue with you, and I'm not going to defend spiders either. I'm just saying.
Trill likes spiders, y'all. She loves them. Wants them in her home.
They are there.
They're everywhere. I'm cool with them existing. Like, just not in my home.
Well, does that sound like such a prejudice? I'm cool with you existing, but just not in my presence. Okay.
You just made it sound 25 times worse.
That's how you're saying it. You're being so mean.
I'm discriminatory against bugs then. Oh well. I'll take it.
Audacity.
I will take it.
That was cute.
Yes.
Let me pop up with a pet spider in a box.
We will do all of our meetings via Zoom from then on.
That's what it will take for me to work from home. Got you. Here's one.
I can't.
Just reach over in the corner.
Frozen in fear for no reason. Imaginary spiders. So leave a comment down below if you think that Troy is wrong for her spider threats. Because I feel like our last few episodes we've been like teetering on the fence of friendship.
It'd be like that sometimes. It keeps things interesting.
Between licorice and tarragon to subways and
the infamous
bathrooms.
Gross.
To now spiders.
Creepy crawlies.
If you don't like me, just say
so. How would you go there? My goodness.
Just say so. All right. That wraps up our episode. We hope you thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not already, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I think subscription is somewhere down here. The bell is over there somewhere. Find it. Hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Like. Hit that thumbs up. And leave a comment on one of the legends or Troy's behavior today.
You're giving them homework. Goodness.
Whenever you feel like it. Not required.
But welcome.
To polish it up. Yeah, definitely welcome. Or, if you just want to say good job, thumbs up, liked it, whatever, let us know.
Any feedback is good feedback.
Absolutely.